Good? Okay, so gridding for your baby portrait. So you're gonna have your black and white printout, a piece of clear plastic acetate, and an 18 by 24 piece of Bristol board. You will want to have a regular pencil, not a mechanical pencil. Don't use a mechanical pencil for this because it can scratch the board, and then when you go to shade over top of it, you're gonna see phantom lines. Don't do that. You have a choice for gridding. You can either grid directly onto your printed out photo, or you can grid onto a piece of acetate. It's completely and totally up to you. If you grid on here and you make a mistake, then erasing it will erase up the ink, so you can't make any mistakes. If you're afraid of making mistakes, go with the acetate. So the acetate is clear. You're gonna use a Sharpie to put your lines, and what's great is if you make a mistake on here, it is erasable, even though it's Sharpie. So you're gonna take your ruler, you're gonna line the 0 up with the edge of the plastic acetate, and the other edge should hit the 9. You're gonna do this at the bottom. And you're going to make a mark at every inch, a little dot. It's gonna create the vertical lines for your grid. So I have a dot at the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, all the way up to the 8. Now I'm moving my ruler to the middle of the acetate, doing it again. Make a dot at the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, on up. Now I'm going to move it to the top of the piece of acetate. Line it up with the 0 and the 9, and make a mark at every dot. Now I have 3 sets of dots. I'm going to flip my paper over, line up these dots, and then draw the lines that will make the vertical lines of my grid. And if you make a mistake, it's okay, because it's erasable. The reason we do the 3 dots is because if you only do 2 and one of them is slightly off, you're gonna get a crooked line. If you have 3 dots, you can at least tell if they're straight. So there's all of my vertical lines. I'm gonna take my ruler, this time I'm turning it in horizontal position, and I'm gonna line my ruler up with the 0 being on the edge of the acetate, now the 12's on the other end. And again, I'm going to make a mark at the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. And I do this right along that top line. And I'm going to pick one in the middle. Doesn't matter which one. Make a dot right along each of these inches. And then pick the bottom line. Oh, my ruler moved. Now I'm going to flip it this way and do these lines. Line up all 3 dots. Draw straight across. Oh no, I got Sharpie on my desk. It's okay. Magic eraser will take that right out. Ta-da! So now we have a 1-inch grid in Sharpie. Now when you go to tape this to your baby picture, don't tape it to the corner of the white, tape it to the corner of the image, because we're not going to be drawing the white part. Oh, I forgot to grab a piece of tape. Ah. Tape there and there. All right, now that you've taped down your acetate, you're going to label your lines. I'm going to put a 0 in the quarter up here, and I'm going to label the vertical with letters. I'm going to do this one in Sharpie so you can see. So A, B, C, this is line D, E, F, and G. And I can do the same thing down here. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And I'm going to number these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And do the same thing on this side. Remember to label the lines, not the boxes. Ta-da! This is what your grid should look like with the baby portrait. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on this board, except you're going to do it 2 inches instead of 1. Same principle. This time you're going to use the T-square, which is a large ruler. Thank you, Hannah, for our videography here. So I line the edge of the T-square up with my board, not with the table, but with the edge of my board, and towards the bottom, and I'm going to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Notice there is a 1-inch extra piece on the left-hand side. Keep your ruler the way you started. If I started with the T-square on the left, finish with the T-square on the left. If you move it, you're going to end up with your extra piece being in the wrong spot. So keep your ruler along the same edge. So I move to the middle. Again, I'm counting by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 is that extra little inch on the end. Do it at the top as well. 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. Now flip the board over, line up the ruler with those 3 dots, and draw your horizontal lines. All right, now I'm going to put the ruler along that bottom line, and I'm again going to be counting by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. This time it's even. We don't have an extra inch. I'm going to go to the middle line, again counting by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, and so forth. Now what this is going to do is this is going to double your measurements. Do it at the top. So we're doing a 2-to-1 ratio. So you have a 1-inch grid with your photo and a 2-inch grid on your board. It's going to double everything. Flip it, and now I'm going to do these grid lines. Again, these should look like perfect squares. If they don't, your baby portrait's going to look like your face is melting. We don't want any melting babies, so make sure your grid is accurate. Oh. Ta-da. Now I'm going to move it so that this extra inch is on the side, and I'm going to label just like I did before. I'm putting a 0 in the corner. This is line A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. That gives me extra over here that I'm not going to be using. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can already tell I don't use anything below 10, so I don't need that. I don't use anything past G1/2, so I don't need any of that. You can chop this off now, or you can wait and do it afterwards. That's completely up to you. Number this side as well. 8, 9, and 10. All right, that's it for making the grid. Next time I'm going to show you how to transfer your contour lines. Thanks for watching.